Hey, it is Sarah Michaels here. I am doing a tutorial video on how I personally create minimal logos that are ready to go. And the usual turnaround time is like a week or less. So this is how I create professional custom logos starting at not like custom, but they look custom for a fraction of the price, if you're hearing me, right? So by the way, if you're new here, my name is Sarah Michaels. In addition to being a business mentor and lifestyle coach, where I teach you how to design a vibrant life and thriving business, complete with the system, strategy, tech, and setup. I also run a studio for business branding and website design, including our signature course called Style It Yourself, where we teach you how to set up your website for a fraction of the price in 2 weeks or less, which is pretty cool. So in this video, I want to show you the app that I'm using. I am using on my phone the Over app, and how I'm kind of going back and forth between Over and Canva and using Google Drive to come up with a logo design creation for a client. So the client that I received was a referral from a friend, and he initially sent over these design specs, which I then took and I put into his design file. So you can see here was the rough draft. So here's how I operate logo design. I do, which I showed here, I sent out the quote. Let me see here so you guys are seeing this. Okay, so I just recently started using and migrating my payment platform right here over to Wix. Previously, for the past 2.5 years, probably longer, 3 years, I was using 17 Hats. Now, 17 Hats is an amazing, amazing resource. However, if I'm already using Wix, why wouldn't I just put the payment portal in and I can save literally $40 per month, have everything all in one place. Someone can fill out the quote, they can do the price, they can do the invoice, like literally boom, boom, boom. And then I can also trigger automations so that it'll send them information out to like any clients, which is really cool. So there's a little of the back end side of that. So I went ahead and I sent this off and I collected the information for the client. And what I did was I opened up the Over app and I clicked on graphics. Now, when you click on graphics, that's going to give you these really cool things right here. Now, keep in mind, my minimal logo design is $247, and the turnaround time we usually like to say is 2 weeks or less. Sometimes, you get a more difficult or picky client that really is particular. I'll say particular, and it can take up to 2 weeks. This process can sometimes take like 3 days. It depends on how fast we're going. So here's what you do. I took the graphics. Okay. So I went to the graphic tab on the bottom here and I searched for, so I'm just going to show you his design specs here. So he has wings and a whisk and a spatula. So the very, very first thing that I searched for in the graphics tab of Over was wings. Now, it was quite easy to see that this was the wings that came up. Okay, because I don't think he would like us to use these wings. Those would look a little bit weird. So that was the wing option that came up. And I also have this for the wing option. So I can download each of these and send those off to him so he can see. This is my style. When you're doing logo design, in order to maximize your profit, you should spend as little time as possible doing the actual logo. I have found that if you're dinking around, giving them like a super lot of options, they kind of get lost in the options. So use your discretion and pick which one you like the best. I will typically set for logo design, I typically set it as 3 hours. If I'm spending more than 3 hours on a $247 logo, I am losing money. That's just my personal thing, which is why I kind of stopped doing logo designs, but I decided just to take this for fun so I could do the training on here and show you the entire start to finish process. Okay, so I selected the wings that I felt would be the best. trust your judgment as a designer. You are the professional. Like, yes, you know, this is their vision, but this is like, to me, it's like, this is something that I also have to put my name on. So I don't want it to look like silly or cartoony. I specialize in classy, minimal logo designs. Okay. So that was the very first thing that I did. Then I went into graphics. So I just selected the graphic tab again. You can see this one. And I searched for a whisk. I could not find a rubber spatula. And so I just went with a spoon. I don't have a rubber spatula. It's not available. And if I did find a rubber spatula, it wouldn't match these designs. So this is hopefully going to work, because finding a rubber spatula like that is probably going to require a hand-drawn custom logo, which will then put you in at least the $497 to $697 category. And as far as I can tell, this client does not want to spend that amount. So I'm just very upfront with it. I'm like, look, we don't have a spatula. I can send you, or that rubber spatula, I can send him a couple different alternatives, but I'm going to put the one in there right now that I think looks the best, which is the rubber, or which is the spoon. That's the closest I can get to his drawing right there, which I think is pretty darn close. Okay, so the next thing that I did was up in this corner here, there is an arrow. Okay, you can see the arrow. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and then I'm going to click Save As. Now, this is really important because you want to make sure you're saving as PNG. This one. When you save it as PNG, that means that the background will be transparent instead of white. And I want a transparent background because then I can overlay this onto other things. Okay, so I turned the colors black. Another thing I can do is I'm going to make a copy of this logo. I'm going to keep a black one. I'm going to make a copy and make the other one white so that he can kind of compare and contrast between a black logo and a white logo. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Add to Folder. And I'm going down to, I created a folder for logo design. So let's see where it is. Logo. Okay, so here's my logo designs. Before you start a project, by the way, you can also go into Over and create a separate folder just for that client, which I actually probably should have done. So what you can do is go down to the bottom, click on your face where it says projects, then it'll bring this screen up and you can click this, folders. When you click on folders, add a plus sign and then type in the name of the client on Over. Okay, so I'm going to type in Andrew KOS. I'm just going to abbreviate so you guys don't know his name. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to projects. Okay, so I'm going to go back to projects and I'm going to click on this and I'm going to add it to his folder so that any like design information, inspiration, etc. is going to go straight to his folder. What I'm also going to do now is I'm going to save a couple. I'm going to go to graphics. Okay, graphic. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to search for spoon. Okay, where is that one? Here it is. All right, so you can see this spoon is done by the same designer. These two spoons were done by the same designer that I am using in the logo. I collected, so when you click that little check mark, that means you collect them. Now, if you click on the bottom part, the text, it will bring you to the folder where those were found in. It's called a collection. Okay, so I'm going through this collection and I'm looking like, is there anything that looks like a rubber spatula in here? No. So I want to show him that. I want to go ahead and add in this weird little like butcher knife thing. Okay, so I'm doing this, okay? And so I'm putting his options in one other image, and I'm gonna keep the options limited to 3. If you want extended options, then you have to pay for more. Okay, that's kind of just how I operate. Okay, so I'm going to go to spoon again. I don't know why the collection isn't saving. Okay, so I'm going to do this spoon. Okay, so I'm going to click this spoon and I'm going to show him what is available to add into the thing. Okay, so I'm going to do shape. Graphic. I'm going to do, so I'm going to go in here. I'm glad you're being patient, by the way, because this is probably, okay, so then again, I'm going to click on this spoon and you can see that it's going to add it to this image, which is where I'm keeping the alternatives. So if he's like, oh, it's not a rubber spatula, here's the thing. When you're designing for people, sometimes they get unrealistic expectations for what they're paying. They are always expecting more, but wanting to pay the least. And that is not how it works. So the best way to kind of not have any miscommunications or not have any frustrations is to be open and upfront and just say, hey, look, this is what we can do at this price point. I'm willing to meet you where you're at. However, if you're looking for something more custom, then that comes at our, X, Y, or Z price point. Okay, I don't want you ever to think that just because somebody paid you that you're obligated to spend more and more time creating something that they're not willing to pay more money for. Okay, you have to value your time as a designer. And for me, that up until a little bit ago, that price point was, I'm not going to spend more than 3 hours on a minimal logo. It's not worth my time. If they want a custom logo, then they can pay me a little more or pay me by the hour. However, I have recently set my hourly rate. At, let's see here. And I'm figuring out my hourly rate as in what is the highest service that I offer, and then breaking that down into finding my hourly rate. So as of right now, my hourly rate at the very minimum is $795 at the very minimum. My highest service that I offer right now is $11,995 for a 1-day branding, coaching, business, life session. Okay, so let's break this down. So $11,995 divided by, let's say we spent 12 hours together. You're looking at about $1,000 an hour. Actually, it's more like 10 hours. So yeah, so about $1,200 an hour. If I do an 8-hour day, this is right. This is the right price. Here it is. I put $14.95 down as my hourly rate. That's right. So an 8-hour day together is $1,499 per hour. If I'm working for anything less than that, I'm essentially wasting my time because I'm not operating in my fullest potential. Okay, and I'm actually lowering my rate. So there's my jam on that. That being said, if you're just getting started and you need some right now income, go for it. Just don't spend 10 hours reworking a logo at $247. Okay, so $247 divided by 10 hours. Well, I guess that's still $24 an hour, but it's why would you do it in 10 hours if you could do it in 3 hours is my thing. Okay. Anyways, so you guys are getting the point here. I'm giving him the alternatives. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to find the spatula. Okay, so I'm actually giving him 4 alternatives. And I'm going to go ahead and do this spatula right here, which fits the other designs. Okay, because we want to keep it all the same. All right, so these are the 4 alternative options he has to the spoon. So I'm adding this right now to his folder. It's really challenging to do this, by the way. So I'm adding this to his folder, okay? All right, so, and by the way, what I will also include in this little mini master class here is I will even add the template that I use for my invoicing. I will include how to set up an invoice and send the invoice out, and the legal disclaimers that I put along with it. Okay, so I hope that would be helpful for you who are like, I want to do logo design, but you don't, it's pretty simple. Okay, so I just added these to the folder. Now, my next little thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to this original design. I'm going to hit this in this corner, okay, this little plus box with a plus, and I'm going to save it to the folder so it makes a copy. Then I'm going to click the pencil, and I'm going to change the color of this to white. So I'm going to click on edit. When I click on edit, it asks me the color. So edit color, and I'm going to do white. Okay? So I'm editing the color. So now I'm just going to go in here really quick and set all of these to white. All right. So now this is white. I click the check mark. Now I'm going to go hit that little plus button with the arrow and put add to folder. Always do that first so it saves. So I'm adding this to the folder. Now I'm going to click the arrow again, and I'm going to click save as. Remember, we want to save as a PNG. Okay, it's saved to my photos. Now I'm going over to Google Drive. This is where I've created a folder for this guy, for his logo, and I'm going to add in the white PNG photo. Now, you can't see it because it's white, but I'm going to click upload. Now, I have my laptop, which you're looking at right here, synced to my Google Drive. So when I go into Canva, what I can do is I can go to uploads. I'm going to upload an image. I'm going to upload the white PNG image. And it's actually, you can see that it's an overlay here. So this is the black overlay. This is the white overlay. And I added in an element here. So the initial logo here was a circle. So what I did, and I'm just going to go back here. So what I did was I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a copy so that the black one stays and the white one. I just went into the logo and I found this like Believer's Bakery. I found one that I thought would fit his branding. So he's a guy, he's got kind of like a classy style. So I'm going to go in here, and now I'm going to turn all of this white. Okay, so I'm going to uploads. Here's a trick. I always press with one finger. So I press the button with one finger and then I drag with the other hand the other finger. Otherwise, it's a pain in the arse. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and make this white, and I'm going to make the text white. All right, so I'm turning everything white. I won't be able to see it here, but it will show up if I do an overlay. So I'm going to say BB White PNG logo. And I'm going to download. When I download, I'm going to click download as PNG. You have to have the Pro account in order to do a transparent background. And then I'm going to click save, and I'm going to save it to the Google Drive photo. Okay, so you can see it's going to his little Google Drive photo, Andrew Cause. I'm going to hit save. And then in a second here, when I refresh on my phone, I will be able to download that. Okay, I will be able to download BB White Believer's Bakery logo. He would be able to put this on anything. Now keep in mind, the background is black, but it's not actually black, okay? This can overlay on anything, and I'm going to show you what I mean in a second. So now I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to click the plus button, and I'm going to click plus an image, and I'm going to go to my photos, okay, because I just downloaded that one photo, I think. Maybe I didn't. Oh, that's what I need to do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to click on this from my photo on my phone. Save to camera roll, okay. Now I'm going back to over, and you can see that this that I just made in Canva is now an overlay. So I'm going to save it here. Okay, so now I'm going to click add to folder, Andrew KOS. Now what I can do is go into graphics because he wanted a watercolor photo, and I can say watercolor. I'm going to give him 4 choices. Some of the options that he likes are yellow and orange, purple, blue, and blue. I happen to be very, very fond of this classy black circle moon that I found in here. And so I'm going to give him that as an option. Always trust your design eye, okay? So I'm searching for in the graphics, okay? So I went to graphics. I went down and I just typed in watercolor. There are watercolor paint splashes and backgrounds. So now I'm going to enter in. Now you can see I have this moon, right? I'm going to click on it. Okay, so I made the moon a little bigger. I'm going to click the check mark. Now I'm going to click these little stacked things right here. And that's the position. So I'm going to drag the position of this down below this. So you just click on this and you drag it down below. And then that is how it would look. Okay, so then I can go ahead and move this icon around. So I can like click to drag it. I can move it around. I can position it. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right. So, Believer's Bakery. I think that is pretty fudge-tastically sweet. Am I right? I mean, come on, this looks pretty awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and add to the folder. That's always the first thing I do. And then I'm going to save as PNG. And I'm going to, once it's saved to my photos, all I have to do is upload it to his Google Drive. Okay. Okay. And he's good to go. So he has his first draft. So the next thing that I'm going to do here is, okay, I'm going to upload this one. Okay, so this will be one of the first reworks. Now, depending on what he says, a lot of clients will be like, yes, boom, done, love it, great, you're good to go. This, you could even get paid like $247 for like an hour, depending on how long it took. If I weren't doing a tutorial, I could probably have this done in an hour or less. But still, that doesn't matter because my hourly rate has gone so far up. That's why I'm training and teaching other designers so that they can work inside of my design studio. We can work together and it saves me time. And then I'm able to also teach others a skill that allows them to be able to profit in the way that was making me money and sustaining my business for so many years until, you know, I've kind of just leveled out of that now. So there it is. So now what I'm going to do is I can also go in here and change the watermark. Okay, so I can say replace, and I'm going to do like maybe paint or something. Watercolor. Okay, so he really liked like a blue. He really liked like a bluish color. And look at some of these watercolors. Like, aren't these cool? Okay, so he really liked a bluish color circle. So that is kind of what I'm just going to be going through and looking for, is a circle, because he said he wants to be able to put these on stickers. So I'm thinking a sticker should be round. So let's just, for kicks and giggles, let's try the red circle here. Whoa, that is bright. But you never know. You never know what somebody's going to end up liking. So this could be a really cool sticker, Believer's Bakery. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the folder. And then this just gives some different design and style options. So I hope this is helpful. I will see you in the very next tutorial video.